Manufacturing, Winter Shelton Real Estate, the Morgan County Health Center in Versailles, Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company in Versailles, Burger Specialty Foods, Heartland Business Systems, Bright Printing and Promotional Advertising, H&R Block in Versailles, Shelter Insurance, Aaron Long, Agent in Tipton, the Tipton Latham Bank, Veracruz Mexican Restaurant in Versailles, the Osage Beach Hy-Vee, Gladstone Cove Boat Trailer Sales, Insurance Associates America, the Tipton One Stop, American Sun Control, DeGraff and Reed Heating and Cooling, Jason Blankenship CPA, Pivotal Real Estate of Tipton, Farmland Grocery, Kidwell Garber Funeral Homes of Versailles and Laurie, the Bank of Versailles, Remax of Sedalia, the Shed Batting Cages, Versailles Total Fitness, and Timberline Real Estate. Now, with coverage of the 86th Annual Tipton Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament, here's Colton Taylor.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's presentation of KS-95 Sports. Excuse me.
It's funny how quick 10 seconds can sneak up on you.
It goes fast. I had just taken a drink of some caffeine to get this broadcast started, right as I got the sign that we were good to go. But, hey, we are live at Tipton. I know, a familiar place. I feel like this is the first, third night in a row, fourth. Yeah. Third? What day is it?
It's Thursday, so it's the fourth night.
Fourth. That tells you how many days I've been here. And I got to tell you, my disappointment's already set in as I look across the court. And I see Coach Reeves, and he's not wearing the red suit.
I know. I'm disappointed. Now, I do have a little inside information. He came from Blue School. Something tells me that's the suit he probably wore on the sidelines of that school. You start to play 3-4 nights in a row, and the red suit can't be worn every night.
That's fair.
Plus, they didn't win in the red suit. Maybe that's what it is.
Try something different. I like it. By the way, I'm Colton Taylor,
nice
the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Rito. Coach Reeves is going to be mad if he sees this. This is the Winter Shelton Real Estate pregame show, and much love to Justin back in the studio. Not only does he do a phenomenal job engineering our contest, he saved the day on this video broadcast. I had messed up the clean feed stuff, didn't have it ready to go. I know that means nothing to anybody, but Justin worked his way through, reset the computers, did what he had to do. So he is our player of the game right now. But Ryan, this is a fun one as we go ahead and we're going to just jump straight into this bracket that you went ahead and made for us. By the way, if you're wanting to watch this game, MoSportsZone.com or the MoSportsZone app, we're streaming live. But as we take a look at the bracket right now, let's see how things shake out. In this matchup, we've got Versailles and Tipton. Winner goes on to the consolation game, and that consolation will be played on Friday. So, the winner will turn around and play tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and they will face off with the winner of New Bloomfield and Marshall. The loser will play tomorrow at 4 o'clock, same time as this game, and they will get the loser of New Bloomfield and Marshall. On the other side of the bracket, two other games we'll have for you tonight. The second one on KS-95, the third one on Mix 92.7. All of these games, though, at MoSportsZone.com. Our next up game, I think it's going to be an absolute dogfight.
I would agree.
Eldon and South Callaway. I mean, Ryan, these are two teams that have the same rules, physicality and defense, and they get after it.
Yeah, I think all of the matchups, at least the ones that we're covering today, I was pretty intrigued by Versailles and Tipton. This one, like two teams that I think match up really well. Then you got Eldon and South Callaway. What are we going to see out of South Callaway, right? They played a Tipton team that hadn't practiced at all and beat them by 11. I think Eldon's got a pretty good chance in that game, right?
Absolutely.
And even though South Callaway seeding-wise might be favored a little bit, you never know, right? And then California, Camdenton. California, the favorites in this tournament. Camdenton, a bigger school team, probably supposed to come in here and win, but you never know.
And here's my thing in that matchup. I watched California play. That's a good ball club. Don't get me wrong. They have very talented players. Camdenton is going to have the size and athletic matchup. I mean, I saw young Mr. Durnan for them.
Oh, that's a name that gets along well in Camdenton.
Carson Durnan can jump out of the gym. The kid was very casually after whistles going up and grabbing the rim with both iron off one foot like it was nothing. They have another player, Johnny Seamow, who is a good 6'4" and can really get up. And I wonder if that size will play a factor. But nonetheless, those are the games coming up later this evening. Like I said, after this, Eldon and South Callaway here on KS-95. California and Camdenton will be on our sister station, Mix 92.7. But Ryan and I will have the call for that as well. But our focus right now in this Winter Shelton Real Estate pregame show, all a part of our Martin Metal broadcast, thanks to our friends at Martin Metal, our title sponsor. We're talking about Tipton and Versailles. And when we come back, we'll really dive into this matchup and catch up with Coach Espy here in just a bit. You're listening to KS 95 Sports.
Martin Metal, just outside of Versailles, Missouri, is proud to announce the operation of our new laminated post-production plant. We now offer our customers high-quality glued, nailed, and planed 3-ply, 4-ply, and 5-ply columns. Yellow pine and treated 2x6 and 2x8 constructed. These posts won't split, warp, or twist and are backed by a 50-year warranty against rotten decay. Order by the job, the bundle, or the truckload, as we offer delivery in Missouri and across the heartland of America. Call Martin Metal to find out more. 573-378-4050 and move your project forward with Martin Metal.
Insurance Associates America, your leading agri-insurance agency in Tipton, insuring poultry and swine buildings since 1975. Let them be your trusted choice for your homeowners, auto, farm, life and health, property, casualty, workers' comp, bonds, IRAs, and annuities. Insurance Associates America, friendly professional service. Call Bob Rolls and Sheila Moon, your trusted choice independent insurance agents in Tipton at 660-433-2141. Insurance Associates America, 660-433-2141.
Tipton One Stop is your ultimate convenience store destination on Highway 50 west in Tipton. Stop by for your favorite snacks, refreshing drinks, and a fresh meal from the in-store Subway restaurant. Plus, fill up your vehicle with quality Synex fuel. Tipton One Stop has the cleanest restrooms in town. Don't believe us? Find out for yourself. Tipton One Stop, open daily until 11:30. Proud supporters of Cardinal Athletics. Tipton One Stop, where convenience meets quality on Highway 50 west in Tipton.
Burger's Specialty Foods is proud to be a part of the Tipton tournament, and they'd like to wish all the teams and players the best of luck. Coaches, if you want to get that extra winning edge, start your team's day with Burger's Smokehouse brand award-winning ham, summer sausages, and country bacon. For all you listening on the radio, if you're thinking about a new career, Burger's Specialty Foods is always looking for fun, energetic folks to join their team. Apply in person weekdays 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. on Highway 87 in California.
We're back with Winter Shelton Real Estate pregame show, getting ready for Versailles and Tipton. About to do battle here. Winter goes on to the consolation game tomorrow evening. And by the way, I look across the way and I see some standout athletes there behind the scorer's desk.
Played pretty well last night.
It amazes me that on one day, Charlie Bailey will be out here locking players down, and the next day she's doing all the PA announcing and running the clock and stuff in the gym. And
that is pretty cool.
Behind her, Miss Ava Schlotzhauer, who I went back and listened to the quote just to make sure. When I asked Ava after the game last night, hey, you may have to do battle next Saturday with a D1 commit to Oklahoma at the power forward position. How do you feel? And her reply was something to the effect of, I'm ready to bring it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
it's exciting.
I love that.
That's someone that didn't even want to be on the mic last year saying that. So that's pretty thrilling, right?
Oh, didn't bother her a bit last night.
The Tipton way.
Absolutely. But tonight, this game, we're looking at Versailles and Tipton. And Ryan, starting with these Versailles Tigers, it's the first year under head coach Wyatt Espinosa, assisted by Kobe Williams. Ryan, boy, that's terrible. Ryan Pryor, as I went blank there. I've got a Ryan Rito next to me.
I went to go finish, but I wasn't so sure you weren't just saying my name, so I didn't know.
I was crossing myself up there. Too many Ryans. And nonetheless, a great coaching staff. These young men have had a tough start. Their first two games, I know a lot of people freaked out a little bit because it's like, oh, you lost by 30 to Fatima. It's Fatima.
They're studs, man. Yeah.
You're in Fatima. They're a top 10 program every year. Like, I write that one off as learning by fire. Now, last game, they squared off with what I think we both would agree is a very athletic, very talented Elton Mustang squad. And it was a dogfight all the way to the end. They lost a close one there. That's got to give you a little faith and a little hope if you're on the Versailles side.
Yeah, well, the first game, after watching them play Fatima, I saw good, I saw bad. And I was like a little like, all right, Fatima's really good, but I need to see another game to test it out. And having Eldon as a measuring stick was good, at least from our standpoint, because we know Eldon very well. So seeing them match up and play, a 4-point game like that assured me that they can do some things. They need to find a few more scorers.
Yeah.
Right? They've got a number one. They do. If they can find a second, third option, I think they're in good shape. I really liked and enjoyed listening to Coach Espinosa talk because he's a young guy. And it literally looked like I was talking to, myself or my buddies. Like he's learning how to coach, being thrown in the fire. And I think that's good experience. Versailles is going to have an advantage. I think Tipton's legs are not quite going to be under him. Football's hard, obviously. But basketball conditioning is a little bit different, right? Football, you play 6 to 7 seconds of play, get to go back to the huddle. It's not like that in basketball. It's nonstop. Tipton just played their first game, get a day off, and then play again. That's tough. I think if Versailles can get out in transition, they'll have a lot of success tonight.
I completely agree. Speaking of Coach Espinosa, we got a chance to catch up with Coach Espy before the game and ask him how the team looks going into tonight's contest. Oh, okay. All righty. Well, that was a good talk with Coach Espy there.
I can sum up basically what he said was that he was excited and his guys were excited, and I think that's what he said, right? That's what any coach says in the interview.
Oh, yeah.
We had a good day of practice.
All right, we'll go ahead and try this again. I asked Coach Espy, hey, how's the team look going into tonight's contest?
Well, last game didn't end the way that we wanted it, but we had a good practice yesterday, good energy, and excited to get back at it tonight.
Now, talking about that last game, it was an absolute battle. I mean, really did come down to the last few minutes. And in a tough game like that, early in a season with a young squad, what were some things that you could take away and that hopefully your boys could learn from?
Just keeping our composure. After the third quarter, we were leading after the game, and even at the end of that third quarter, we were up by 5 and let them have a late shot with one of their better shooters. And we talked about keying on them. So kind of maintaining focused and stuff like that all the way through the game, from the tip all the way to the end of the buzzer.
Now, from one rivalry game to, honestly, kind of another, this Tipton-Versailles game the past few years has become a really fun one. And I say rivalry. There's a lot of friendships. We were just joking earlier about seeing some kids that know each other across the aisle. Do you think that makes your kids lock in and want to play even harder, or a little more difficult to focus when it's a team they know so well?
I don't know about these guys quite yet, but I know that playing Tipton at Tipton is hard. That's tough. So, I think some of these guys, they don't show too much emotion whenever they're too high or they're too low. So I guess we'll find out come game time.
Now, with that said, I know you got to watch Tipton play the other night. What did you see about the Cardinals? Is there anything you want to see your team key on?
Well, not only the other night whenever I watched them play, but even last year whenever I was watching film on them, they help really well, and they maintain their defense. They may not pressure out on the perimeter too much, but they keep you out of the paint. So, our focus is trying to get into the paint, shoot layups at the rim twos, and kick out threes instead of just settling for the three-pointer over and over.
All right, last question. What is going to be the one thing that you want your team to do tonight to give you the best chance to get a win?
Play hard. But that's every night. Play hard.
All right, Coach Espinosa, appreciate the time.
Thanks, man.
And we're wrapping up warm-ups here, as that was an interview with head coach Wyatt Espinosa. And we didn't get to interview Coach Reeves before the game. He was in the locker room with the boys. I did talk to him for a long time yesterday, actually, in between, or just before our Tipton and Eldon girls game yesterday. And like I said, Coach Reeves is an awesome guy. If you haven't got a chance to chat with him, I asked him, said, do you think, the football season had an impact? Well, yeah, we had 2 practices. He goes, my boys were sloppy and tired and whatnot. And he understands, but he wants to see him start cleaning some things up. He really liked the looks they were able to get inside, especially from Ben Bastian, who just somehow found the paint at will last night. And I think he believes that if they can get a few more shots to fall this evening, they got a very good chance in this matchup.
I think so, too. They're going to play with high intensity and effort, which is what always excites me about Tipton. So.
Absolutely. We're going to take a break for the national anthem, and we'll come back with your starting lineups. This is KS-95 Sports.
The Tipton Latham Bank is a locally owned and operated full-service independent community bank serving the area since 1906. The Tipton Latham Bank N.A. is an equal housing lender and a member FDIC. The Tipton Latham Bank is a proud supporter of local high school athletics. Stop by the Tipton or Latham branch or visit TiptonLathamBank.com.
Hi, I'm Brandon, and welcome to Gladstone Cove Boat Trailer Sales. Do you need a trailer to get your boat out of the water? Maybe just a replacement trailer. Or considering selling your boat and you know a trailer will help get it done. We carry 11 lines of high-quality boat trailers, and if we don't have what you need, we also build our very own line of custom aluminum boat trailers. Thanks to everyone that's been by or just heard of us and gave us a referral. From my family to yours, we can't thank you enough.
Ozark Regional Insurance, an independent insurance agency, combines friendly customer service with quality insurance products, including home, auto, life, health, business, farm, and recreational vehicle insurance. Owned by Phil Hilty, Ozark Regional Insurance services the Lake and Central Missouri. For a quote, visit them in Tipton at 309 U.S. Highway 50 West or call 660-433-0108. And Megan Randall, manager in Versailles at 609 West Newton or call 378-6081.
Having the right person at the right time and place will make all the difference in the world for the better. Hi, I'm Jill Tobin at Pivotal Real Estate brokered by EXP. What makes us different is we can help you buy and sell property all over the state of Missouri. When it's time to make your pivotal decision, pick Pivotal Real Estate brokered by EXP, located at Highway 50, Tipton, Missouri. Check us out at pivotalreal.com.
Pivotal Realty in Tipton is a proud supporter of the Tipton Cardinals.
We are back as we're meeting our starting lineups. First for the home team on the scoreboard will be the Tipton Cardinals. Starting for them will be number 1, Ben Bestian. He is a junior. Number 2, Will Cashman, a junior. Number 3, Lucas Cashman, a senior. Ty Bixler, number 11, and a sophomore. Number 21, Dane Schlotzhauer, a junior. Starting for the Versailles Tigers in the Road Blacks, it'll be number 2, Reese Murdoch. Number 3, Braden Albrecht. Number 12, Ben Pack. Number 20, Dalton Reza. Number 24, Timo Tyler Morrison. Tigers under head coach Wyatt Espinosa. The Cardinals under head coach Michael Reeves.
I think the one thing that we got out of the pregame talk with Coach Espinosa was that it's tough to play Tipton at their own place, right? A crowd maybe not as filled in as it normally would be at a 4 o'clock start, but it's still not going to be easy.
As the opening tip goes to Versailles, Murdoch soaring for that one. This has become a rivalry game over the years. They've had some intense battles. And I'm not trying to put a jinx on anything before the game starts, but generally, whoever the home team has picked up the win the last 3 years. Murdoch steps into a 3 off the screen. Off the back iron, won't go. Rebound tipped around. Timo keeps it alive. We'll say it was last touched by the Tigers. Possession to the Cardinals.
You know, maybe not a look you would expect to see right off rip, right? We're less than 20 seconds into the game. You see him pull up a 3, but I don't think that's a bad thing because they need to find scoring.
And I know they've really been encouraging Murdoch to shoot the ball more. Versailles is going to go with a full court man press. It's Ben Bestian at half court breaking it down. Needs some help. He finds Lucas, but the pass a little too hot to handle. That. Once again, that's when you chalk up to you've only had 3 practices under your belt.
Well, I like it because they're bringing pressure, but it's not really intense pressure that's going to get you in foul trouble. The Tigers can't afford to get in foul trouble, but still have something there and force the Cardinals to make plays.
Murdoch turns the corner, hangs in the air. A lot of contact, but they're going to say good defense by the Cardinals. Play on. Schlotzhauer, the board, gives it to Will. Reese pressuring him. Head to Schlotzhauer. Straight man defense from the Tigers. Ty Bixler fires low to Lucas. He'll pull it out inside to Ben. A little fadeaway jumper from the mid-range. It's good. First points of the game go to the Cardinals.
Hey, you mentioned it a bit. Ben's looked good in that, paint area, diving in kind of deal. I mean, that's a nice shot right there. And there wasn't a lot of space either.
And a 3 on the wing from Albrecht up and good. Versailles takes the lead 3-2. Now, talking about Ben. Ben is about 5'10", 5'11" down there. Not a huge guy, but still big enough. He knows how to make space and uses it well. And Will was trying to turn the corner, working against Murdoch. Going to say just a little overzealous, and a travel is called.
This Tipton team doesn't have necessarily a ton of height in terms of their big men, but they're stout, and that makes sense from what we saw on the football field.
I will say Ty Bixler is a bona fide. He is a bona fide 6'2" at least. Yeah. And he played very physical against South Callaway. Murdoch trying that crossover, but Lucas gets the steal on the run out to Ben. Left side, goes up with it off the glass and scores. Great defense.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of turnovers in these 4 o'clock tournament games, right? They're weird. You were just in algebra, and all of a sudden you're playing a basketball game in less than an hour.
For real, you were trying to divide numbers. Now you're trying to divide the defense. Albrecht to the corner. Looking to attack as Reza gives it up. Peck lines up a 3. It's short. Rebound Schlotzhauer. This is the Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action as once again pass out of bounds. That's just...
Sometimes it just, again, 4 o'clock games, the energy in the gym's a little down. It just feels like you're playing pickup sometimes. And that's a pickup pass right there. It's hard to flip that switch.
It's hard being a varsity squad when you can still see light out the windows while you're playing.
Yeah, and eventually you kind of figure it out, right? You get into the flow of the game, but it does take a few minutes for both teams to feel it out.
Murdoch loses the dribble, keeps it alive. He'll come back and pick it up at half court. Rowan Allen with the ball. Allen must have just checked in a moment ago. I didn't catch that. Albrecht gets inside, needs help, finds the cutter. Down to Timo on the block in a double team. Good defense by the Cardinals. It's out to Allen. Thought about the 3. Decides against it.
I like Versailles not being in a rush.
Also, Bertelli in the game. Now he had the ball, but loses it out of bounds.
Offensively, they're not in a rush, which is good, obviously. They're taking their time, not trying to force anything. There also needs to be a little, effort to look to the basket. I feel like they were kind of just dribbling around the paint right there, right? You might want to look to get to the rim a little bit.
And it's a steal by Allen. It's knocked loose on the floor. Diving forward is Schlotzhauer. Finds Bixler. Skips to Lucas. Pass fake, tries to split two Tigers. It's knocked loose, winds up in the hands of Will. Will inside. Out to Schlotzauer. Lines up a three. Off the back iron. Won't go. Fight for the board. Tip to Bixler. Resets with Schlotzauer. Will goes to the short corner to Lucas. Lucas fakes the spin. Back out to Will. Ben Bestian. Out to Lucas. Long three up and good. Cardinals extend their lead 7-3.
Quick trigger there out of Lucas. And usually it's Schlotzauer that'll beat you from the paint, but he did that time.
Albrecht had a nice drive, kind of lost it at the last moment. Good defense by Will. Murdoch attacks at the free throw line. Spin move denied by Lucas. Gives it up to Braden. Braden a three. Top of the key. Halfway down came out. Timo keeps it alive between two defenders. Fires it out to Rowan. Allen a three. Off the front iron. Won't go. Offensive board Albrecht. Albrecht gives it up to Allen. Back out to Albrecht. Corner three. Off the iron. Wouldn't go. Another offensive board. Bertelli, and he is fouled. The only thing I would say on that play, and I'm not trying to take shots at players, but I'm sure Coach Espy's going to be in his ear about it. If you're
just go up with it,
Braden, you've got to go straight back. He's 6'3", tall kid. He can finish that.
I'm sure that's what they're talking about right now, probably, if I had to guess.
And some of it is, give this Tipton defense credit. They are a physical squad.
Oh, yeah.
Second guess things.
Well, they are physical, which is what's weird to me, that they allowed, 3 offensive rebounds on that possession. You heard Coach Reeves, you probably hear it throwing mics, getting verbal a little bit, yelling. That's what'll make him mad. It's not them messing up. It's them not playing with effort. Sometimes giving up offensive rebounds can be an effort sign.
For sure. First free throw good. Second one halfway down and out for Bertelli. 7-4 is the is the Tipton lead over Versailles. Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action. Bestian attacks baseline. Gives it up weak side. Extra pass. Will gets inside. Long stride. Floater up and good. That's a tough shot, but a good make.
I mean, the defense was there, but he was able to take contact and control his body.
Long strides inside. Braden being aggressive. Hands it off to Rowan. His shot partially blocked by Andrew Bestian, who's checked into the game. By the way, it was clarified to me, Andrew and Ben are cousins. Will and Lucas are brothers.
Makes things complicated, doesn't it?
I don't have to learn many last names, at least. And the pass to Will, a little too hot to handle, out of bounds. Ball back to the Tigers.
Tipton, the number 7 seed in this tournament, right? And the first game, I thought they played well, right?
Yeah.
Not their best game. Today, they don't look like the 7th seeded team in the tournament.
No.
They look like they were probably one of the top teams in this tournament.
I didn't think they were the 7th seed against South Callaway.
I think part of it was wondering if they were going to be at full strength. I mean, they knew how talented that football team was.
It's amazing. I mean, how big of a difference a week makes. This team, not to sound depressing here, but this team was one win away from playing in Thoreau Field on Saturday,
and now they're playing in Tipton High School's gymnasium, right?
And a timeout going to be called by Coach Espinosa, as he didn't like what he saw out of Versailles' offensive set. By the way, that will be why that's not working. A Nikki Ragsdale, a remax of Sedalia timeout. We'll take the break as well. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Since 1882, the Bank of Versailles has been locally owned and operated. Lending decisions are made right here in our community by people who understand real estate in the area. The Bank of Versailles is your local home and farm loan specialist, offering knowledgeable staff and competitive fixed rates that are hard to beat. The Bank of Versailles, building relationships with the people in our local community for 142 years. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We got our sideline reporter, Britt, with us. Britt, what'd you think of that in the first half of the first quarter of action?
I think it's good. I think the energy could be maybe a little more aggressiveness going to the basket. And
for Versailles?
Yeah, and getting around the defense a little better.
Right? Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, what a beautiful inbounds play drawn up. As the lob was to Reese at the top of the key, he immediately fired it to Bertelli, who stepped in. The shot just wouldn't fall.
That's got to be frustrating on the sideline there. They drew up a perfect play and on the court, right? And it worked. And now they're going to run the same action, just do something different.
Yeah, instead it's a handoff to Allen at the top of the key. Goes to Albrecht. Shot fake, looks to attack, nothing there. Over to Reese. Reese faked the pass to Schofield, who checked in. And instead, Murdoch pulls a nice mid-range jumper.
The mid-range jumper is a lost art right there. Everyone wants to jack the threes. That time getting in, getting downhill and setting up a shot. I like that.
And an attack by Andrew Bestian. He's going to be fouled by Braden Albrecht, as it looks like Jacob Vansel getting ready to check into the game.
And especially, I want to go back to last play, like Reese Murdoch is going to be longer than most people he plays against, right?
Yeah.
So mid-range jumpers, like he can shoot over the top of defenses pretty easily. It's tough for them to contest that.
Well, and Reese has such a quick first step that you have to immediately you almost have to treat guarding Reese like playing the tackle position in football. First step's got to be back. Schlotzhauer, quick trigger three off the inbounds, won't go. Tipton kept alive. Lucas tips it over to Andrew. Out to Lucas. Thought about the three. Instead, he drives, gets inside. Runner off the front iron. Rolls, won't go. Dane tips it to keep it alive. Murdoch has it, but a tie-up. Jump ball going to be called, and possession will favor the Cardinals.
I'd say a lot of people that shot from Schlotzhauer, right, fading off of a screen on an inbounds play, a quick trigger maybe isn't a great look, but for him, it's once he sees one go through, you're going to see 4 or 5 go through, and I think it's a concerted effort to get him the ball early and kind of establish that.
Dane with the ball, working against TJ. 9-6, the Tipton lead over Versailles, 2:27 to play. Lucas gives it up. And a travel going to be called on the far side. Andrew was trying to turn the corner, but just a step too early.
You can't get frustrated about that because I think they actually might have called it on Riley Walters there, trying to get that pass off. And that's one that's not going to get called 9 times out of 10. Is it a travel? Probably, but they don't call it. So you can't get frustrated about that.
A little over 2 minutes to go. Vansel on the right wing. Couple pass fakes, finds Murdoch. He's got Lucas on him. He's just going to pull a three off the dribble and gets it.
Why not?
Wow. Reese Murdoch feeling it.
There's a man in his face, but he's so tall and long, it doesn't affect him. It's like, take the shot. Yeah.
That's scary for other teams. If Murdoch's able to hit that three off the dribble, the way he can attack the rim is a problem. Bixler drives, gives it up. Riley pulls a three, won't go. Murdoch the board. What can Reese do for you right now? A little bit of everything. He races ahead to the corner. Three for Allen. Up off the back iron, wouldn't go. Good fight for the board. And Schlotzhauer pulls away from Schofield. It's knocked loose. Bertelli scoop shot up and in, and the Tigers have their first lead of the game.
It's a good response out of the timeout for them. They've been a lot more concerned at getting to the basket.
And good pressure applied by Vansel. Tipton able to get it to Schlotzhauer. They were looking for the short corner, but once again, the timing's still a little off with these Cardinals. It's a turnover out of bounds.
That's what, if you're just listening and not watching, like you can tell on the floor, they're like steps off from making plays, right? And so don't be too harsh to judge these first few games with any team, but especially not the Tipton Cardinals who haven't got to work together too much.
11-9, Versailles leads Tipton. Vansel attacks to the free throw line, gets it to Albrecht. Albrecht attacks on the left side. Out to the wing is Peck. Back to Vansel. He'll try a three. The three is short. Goes out of bounds. Ball back to the Cardinals. Not a bad look.
No. I mean, you got a clear open lane or look at the hoop. I don't think that's a crazy shot to take.
1 minute to play. And, a little overzealous pressure. You saw that one coming as Benton Peck was trying to pressure Andrew Bestian the length of the floor.
I mean, you're not in a terrible position foul-wise, though, so you're not really mad about it. They've done a good job of applying pressure but not fouling. They haven't really forced a ton of turnovers, but I think the turnovers have come when the Cardinals' legs start to kind of fatigue a little bit.
Andrew and...
prove me wrong.
Bestian was running routes just a couple weeks ago, and he tried to run one there, and
I wonder, I never had the quick turnaround from football to basketball. I wonder if that's not an issue. Like, you catch it, you just want to tuck it and run.
Has to be. Trust me, I'd have the turnaround from soccer to basketball, and
that was
let me tell you, they don't let you shoot goals with your feet. It's wild.
It's a violation.
45 seconds to go.
I think it'd be a bad time to take the last shot.
I don't know if Versailles is a stall kind of team, but we could be. Morrison gives it to Vansel, over to Albrecht. He drives baseline, a crossover. Good move, gets inside, trying to buy space, spins on the pivot foot, wouldn't go. Schlotzhauer the board. 30 seconds to play. Tipton has the ball, down by 2. Will to Dane. Trying to back down Timo. Glass is tipped. Schlotzhauer corrals it, gives it to Andrew. Andrew fires to Bestian. Mid-range jumper off the iron, rattles, doesn't fall. Vansel has it. 10 seconds to play. Tigers with the ball in a 2-point lead. Vansel hesitation, drives baseline, makes some space out to Morrison. He'll try a three off the back iron, won't go. Rebound hauled in by Will, and Will couldn't get the shot off before the buzzer sounds. So at the end of the Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action, Versailles leads Tipton 11-9. You're listening to KS 95 Sports.
Hi, I'm Jason Blankenship, owner of Jason Blankenship CPA LLC. As the year quickly draws to a close, it's time to start thinking about tax planning strategies for your farm and business. We are happy to meet with you and help you see where things stand for the year. We can also give you advice on ways to spend money to help you grow your business, all while maximizing your tax savings. No matter what your tax, payroll, or accounting needs are, Jason Blankenship CPA LLC has got you covered. Celebrating 10 years of service to the Central Missouri area and looking forward to many more, give us a call at 573-557-2417 or stop by and see us at 401 East North Street in Eldon.
Farmland Grocery LLC in Syracuse is a discount grocery store that carries surplus, bent and dense, seasonal, close-to-date foods, and dated foods. They get new items in every week, and products constantly change. They also sell food in bulk by the case for a discount. Farmland Grocery is open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5 and until 6 on Friday. Located directly north of the Highway 50 and D intersection in Syracuse. Follow Farmland Grocery LLC on Facebook to stay up to date on new arrivals.
As we move into the H&R block of Versailles second quarter with our Martin Metal broadcast, shout out to our boy Jason Vansel, who's either listening or watching right now and giving us his commentary. It's always lovely to hear from Mr. Vansel.
Yeah, he's, excited for his son.
Albrecht inside and blew a tire, but he got hip checked on the way. I think they're going to get Bixler for that one.
It's never a fun way to go down.
And that is on Bixler. Now, it was a good take from Braden, though.
When they turn the corner and their first step is vertical, right, towards the basket, there's something there, and you can see the athleticism. And when they take it and they're going east to west towards the sideline, it starts to stall out a little bit.
Morrison at the top of the key, looking for the cutter, goes over to Reese, thought about the three, jab step, crossover, back to Timo. He lines up a three and gets it. Morrison, a big shot. Will Cashman pushes it up the floor, fires it to Bixler, and it was an awkward pass. It kind of took a hop right in front of Bixler, and he was never able to corral it. So, like I said, you can see the rust, if you want to call it that, on these Tipton boys.
You can see it offensively from both teams.
Yeah. The talent is clearly there. Murdoch turns the corner all the way to the basket. That's a big boy basket there.
You're going to be hard-pressed to find too many teams that can guard that.
I think Reese is slowly starting to figure that out, too, that I might be more athletic and skilled than most players I go against. Versailles has opened up a 7-point lead. Tipton needs to find their offense here. They've been struggling with turnovers lately. Lucas on the outside. TJ on him. And a little bit of contact, play on. Bixler at the top of the key. Gets to the free throw line, goes back to Lucas. To Ben. Ben able to get inside. Runner off the iron. Good look, wouldn't fall. And a 2-point takedown for Big Ben.
I don't think there was anything malicious there, but both players trying to get after the ball.
I'm telling you.
Ben's big.
And I'm telling you, Ben Bested's a great kid. Talking to him was an absolute hoot. That was a funny guy and a great athlete. But a timeout going to be called.
I think Tipton needs to. They look stagnant offensively, not really moving around away from the ball, and a lot of their shots coming off the dribble drive, not a whole lot off of actions, plays, stuff like that. And that's it. I think Coach Reeves, this is more of an inspirational timeout, not a hey, let's do this, let's do that. I'm sure he's just trying to hype up his guys a little bit.
Well, and sometimes I think you almost have to slow your guys down a little bit too when they feel like they're trying to play the catch-up game and explain to them, hey, there's not one shot that's going to get us back in this game. We've got to start doing this, this, and this.
I'll tell you, the one thing that will get them back into this game is defense. Right? They're not going to win this game in an offensive shootout or even like a 50 to 60 point game just because the offense isn't quite there yet. They're not going to quite click. What they can do is play with high effort on defense, force some turnovers, and maybe get some transition looks that'll get them back into the game.
Versailles with the ball. Murdoch goes high post to Timo. Side. The drive is Peck. Back to Morrison. To Reese.
Shocked Morrison didn't take that. He hit on his last one, right? Had some space there.
Reese has it, steps to the free throw line, crossover between three. Cardinals shot wouldn't go, good defense, and Will with the rebound.
The Cardinals packed down in the zone there. Is that what I noticed? I'm not sure if you saw that.
I didn't catch that, but they may have, or they're going to get TJ for the foul. And I will say, I noticed that was the third time TJ had fouled him on that route. TJ grabbed his jersey at the opposite.
I was going to say, actually, I feel like the third one was probably the weakest one, but it got to the point where it's like, all right, we got to call that almost dangerous.
Yeah, heads up play by Schlotzhauer to let it hit in the backcourt. 16-9 is the Tiger lead. Cardinals have struggled to get their offense going in the second quarter. Have the Cardinals scored in the second quarter?
No.
I didn't think so. So we're 2 minutes in. Will at the top, working against Peck. Now TJ switches off the screen. They fired a Bixler against Morrison. A little size advantage. Turnaround jumper. Bixler, good look.
It's the best look they got.
Absolutely. Halfway down and back out. Murdoch the board, and he wants to run. Fires ahead to Albrecht, and his three slapped.
Ooh, nice play there.
Will.
Will Cashman, one of the more athletic kids in Tipton, right? And launching there to get the block. Tipton, they haven't scored in I think it's almost 5 minutes now since they had their last basket. In that time, though, they ran a set, right, and got a look off the set. They didn't give up on it and start dribble driving. And so that does lead me to believe that the timeout was kind of talking about, hey, just trust the process and it'll open up.
Schoolfield and Bertelli back in the game. Rowan Allen back in the game. And a little give and go. Allen to Bertelli. Reverse layup up and good.
Moving without the basketball lead to good things.
That is twice we've seen Bertelli with that reverse finish around the rim.
He's pretty long, too. I mean, his wingspan. They breed big wingspans in Versailles.
I guess so. There's plenty of them. Top of the key is Will. Goes high post to Lucas. He's got the size advantage. Fights inside. Blows the tire. Keeps his pivot somehow. And then, that is definitely a foul on TJ. And, yeah, that, I think the refs are going to let that go. That probably could have been attack.
He whistled attack.
Did he? Yeah, that's going to be attack.
It's been physical here for the last few minutes, and sometimes tempers boil over, That'll be 3 fouls on Schofield.
Well, and the problem is there was nothing dirty about it. TJ was overzealous, and he fouled him, and I think the Tipton player took a little, exception to that and basically said, dude, why are you tackling me?
Right.
TJ threw the ball off him, and it's like, that's going to get you a tee every time. So.
Yeah, and the worst part about that is that's 3 fouls now on Schofield here 5 minutes into this, or with 5 minutes left in the second quarter.
And the big thing is, if you're Versailles, you had doubled up Tipton. Now, if you're Tipton, you're saying, hey, this can be the part that sparks your comeback.
You see, the problem is Dane didn't score in the first quarter, right? So he goes to the free throw line, and he just saw something go through the hoop.
Yep.
That's the worst part of everything. Right now, you might see him heat up and start to score the basketball.
Schlotzauer's first free throw good. Second off the iron won't fall. Schofield going to come out of the game. Ben Peck will come in for him. I promise you, Coach Espinosa is not going to be happy about that technical.
No, and it's not even just from the you never want a technical foul and all that, but you're hurting your team whenever you have to go sit on the bench for probably the rest of the first half, and maybe parts of the second half. That's brutal, and I'm sure that'll be reiterated.
So it's an 8-point game now. Tipton with the ball. They go Ben. A beautiful pass to the cutting Schlotzauer, who lays it in. Cardinals cut the lead to 6.
That was beautiful action right there. Good job moving without the ball, finding open space.
Albrecht thought about the 3, gets the defender in the air, takes some contact, gives it out. Peck lines up a 3. Off the back iron, wouldn't go. Board to Lucas.
I think this zone look for the Cardinals is going to open up some opportunities. No one can really guard Murdoch on their own, but you get a zone around them, and it's a lot easier. It's been a physical game.
I don't know how Will Cashman wound up on the floor at the Tiger bench, but he's always flying all over the place. And Murdoch goes for a steal, and he had the steal from Andrew, but stepped on the line. Otherwise, Murdoch, I was going to say, was thinking about jam time, but come on, Reese. You were going to lay it in. We know you were.
I think Coach Reeves could really get his team back into this game by upping this physicality level like they are. They're pushing back against Versailles a little bit. Mm-hmm. And if Versailles starts to get into foul trouble, that could be a problem. They have a deeper bench, but I think the Cardinals are more comfortable going to the end of the bench.
Schlotzauer on the left wing, attacks lane to the basket, floats it up off the glass. Nice run by Tipton as they've cut it to a 4-point game.
And now 5 points out of Schlotzauer. He's got all the Cardinals' points here in the second quarter.
Murdoch working against Lucas Cashman. Hesitation, lane to the basket, hangs in the air. And a good job meeting him at the rim was Dane. Ahead to Ben Bestian on the run out, contested by Allen. Shot won't go. Rebound Peck.
A great pass there by the quarterback, though.
And a great job by Will. So Will has now thrown his body into both benches, and it's just now the second quarter.
That's impressive. Yeah, Dane had a nice little pass there. It's almost like he just got done doing it. I don't think Bestian was the one running routes, but
no, he was
did
not.
Catch it in stride.
Ben Bestian was a defensive tackle.
Yes. Good one at that.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
that's a tough turnover, as that's just Tigers literally just throw it over the head of the point guard they're out of bounds. It'll be Cardinal ball. If you're Tipton, you're saying, hey, this is the time we can make our run.
Oh, yeah, all of a sudden they're right back into it. And that's, like we said, if you just play with a little bit of effort.
And a reach-in foul going to be called on Murdoch as he was matched up with Bestien. They were trying to get Bestien the ball at the free throw line.
This is where if I'm a coach, I'm going to my best baseline inbounds play. This is a huge basket.
Well, also worth noting, that's team foul 4 on Versailles, and there's still 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
I forgot they play with the 5 fouls now.
Yeah. Stepping into a 3, Lucas off the back iron, wouldn't go. Murdoch another board. He's rebounded well. And Reese wants to run, gets inside, takes the contact. Timo in the corner, drives baseline, looking for the cutter. That's Murdoch, gets to the left side, clears space, and puts it up and in. You can see those moments where Reese is like, I want the ball and I want to take over.
Reese obviously was not the main scorer last year. He's kind of figuring it out, though.
Drive to the lane for Will. Shot won't go. Morrison the board. 20-14. Versailles leads Tipton. 3:20 to go in the H&R block of Versailles' second quarter. Murdoch drives, frees up space, fires to Peck. His 3 rattles and falls. The Cardinals had a big run. Now the Tigers on a run as they've opened up a 9-point lead.
Now the defensive intensity picking up a little bit for Versailles.
Lucas to Schlotthauer. Back over to Bestien. He'll try a wing 3. In and out.
You really blow this game open here with the bucket.
Morrison to Bertelli, and Will was trying to make a guess and took a shot for the crossover, and instead he just shoulder checks Bertelli.
But back to what I was saying about Murdoch, last year he obviously had someone to turn to. I mean, he could look at Ryder and say, Ryder, please go get a bucket, and Ryder was going to go get a bucket. Now they're turning to Reese, right? Yep. And that's a tough adjustment to make. And I think we're watching throughout this game, he's learning that a little bit.
Morrison at the top of the key, fakes the handoff to Reese. This looks like a design play almost. Peck, they're trying to post up Murdoch. It's knocked loose, winds up in the hands of Peck. Now they force it into Murdoch, and I think that's something in time that played that very well. They aren't going to get called. I do think you do have to reiterate to your guards, hey, we want to get it to Murdoch, but you also can't just force it into Murdoch.
Yeah, you can't force it into him. Sure. Was that not the fifth? Oh.
No, that's fourth. Both teams now with 4 fouls with 2:35 to go.
Yeah, no, you definitely can't force it. This is a good look, though.
That is off the entry pass. Murdoch post up. Bertelli finds him. 2 more for Reese. 25-14 and a steal on the inbounds for Reese. And they're going to say he traveled.
Boy, and he still made the layup.
He did, but I'm telling you, this is a different look Reese Murdoch.
I was going to say, this will be known as the Reese Murdoch game if they win a few games.
He had 27 on Eldon. How many has he got in this game already?
5, 7, 9, 11.
11 first-half points.
But he's setting up his teammates as well.
True. I'd like to know his stats, rebound, assist. And Andrew Bestien couldn't get the layup to fall. Rebound Peck. He wants to run, loses the dribble. It's picked up by Lucas, fired back to Will. And Will once again winds up in the sidelines.
They just gave that ball to Tipton?
They did. I think they're saying, I don't really know. No? I don't know. Either way.
Like we said,
they're gonna talk about it. It looks like.
I was gonna say we did say that it's weird for the players to play at 4 o'clock. It's probably a little weird for the refs to officiate at 4 o'clock.
If there was a stat for most times launching yourself into a team's bench, Will Cashman would be leading right now.
He might lead the country in that stat. If we're being honest, it's pretty early in the season.
You gotta love his effort. You really do. Yeah. And so that's why they talked. They wanted to flip the call. They're saying that Will was the last touch on the sideline, so it'll be Versailles' ball. Versailles up 11, 25-14. They get it into Peck. It's knocked out of bounds. And this is going to shock everyone. Will wound up on the bench again.
Hey, at least someone went with him this time, though.
That's true. I mean, I think part of it is Will and Lucas as well, but a little more so Will. They're like little Energizer bunnies. They never run out of steam, and they always move 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, I get tired watching them run around the court.
Oh, for real. The inbounds. Peck, top of the key. Goes to Morrison on the left wing. Back to Peck at the free throw line, being harassed by Will. It's knocked loose. Race for the ball. Will Cashman dives on it. Morrison dives on it, knocks it loose out of bounds. Ball to the Cardinals. Great hustle, Will Cashman.
He's just really quick, and honestly, we've seen him take a foul or two, but he has a pretty good knowledge of when to tip in there and kind of try to reach. It's definitely a lot easier when you're packed down in the zone because you know you have someone next to you.
Yeah.
And forcing a turnover when they probably needed one the most.
Inbounds to Bixler, gives it to Schlotthauer, a little floater over the defense. It just rattled out. I mean, there is a cover on the rim right now for Tipton.
That's a really good look. He's going to make that 9 times out of 10.
Absolutely. Carey not called. The player kind of thought it was going to be, just gave up on it. It's picked off by the Cardinals. Will thought about the three, instead goes to Bixler at the free throw line, out to Lucas. He's ran off the line by Albrecht, steps into a runner, back iron won't go, rebound tipped. Finally corralled by Will, into Lucas to Bixler, out to Lucas, three on the way, knocked down, Lucas Cashman.
Lucas had a three in the first quarter, now he's got one in the second quarter, and they needed to break that scoring drought.
That was a big three. Albrecht trying to answer. Gets to the post, out to Allen. He'll try a three, and Allen answers.
Well, that's back-breaking. You get a shot up, and then they answer right back with you.
Rowan Allen. So this is a Tiger team that we were thinking, would stay around the 40s per game range, and they've got 28 already here in the first half. On the attack, Bixler to Lucas. He tries to drive baseline. It's taken away, but a good skip pass. The weak side runner up off the glass wouldn't fall. Rebound tipped over to Bixler. Back out to Schlotzhauer. Fires it down low. Walters' turnaround shot won't go. And it's corralled by Peck.
Now, do you think about taking the last shot? I know you said they don't want to.
I just don't think Versailles cares about it. I think they just want to get a look.
That's fair.
Albrecht to Peck. And mind you, Murdoch's not on the floor right now for the Tigers. And it's stolen. Cashman on the run out. Being chased by Albrecht. And Cashman's layup up and in. That's Lucas Cashman. Cuts it back to single digits. 28-19. 15 seconds to go in the H&R Block of Versailles' second quarter.
It is interesting. Who do you turn to without Murdoch on the floor?
Vansel with it. Back up to Allen. 8 seconds to go. Allen attacks. Gives it up. Vansel. Corner three. High Archer. It won't go. Rebound Lucas. Lucas will heave a full court prayer. He gets backboard, but nothing else. After one half of action, Versailles leads Tipton 28-19. Winner moves on to the consolation game tomorrow night. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Nikki Ragsdale with RE/MAX of Sedalia has the experience and local expertise to assist in all your real estate transactions. From Sedalia to Tipton, even the lake and other surrounding areas, she's a leading agent in this market who knows what to expect and how to deliver. If you're ready to buy or sell, call your real estate expert, Nikki Ragsdale with RE/MAX of Sedalia at 660-620-7777 or call the office at 660-826-9911 and ask for Nikki. She's the key to your home buying and selling needs.
California Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram has been making happy customers for years with dedicated employees in sales and service. They're your hometown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram dealer and proudly serve the community and surrounding areas by offering new and pre-owned vehicles, as well as top-notch parts and service departments. Find out for yourself why their customers leave happy. California Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram on West Buchanan Street in California wants you to be another happy customer.
Captain, the seas of the Ozarks are too rough. Me and the crew can't secure the screens and railings. She'll never be installed right. She ain't sturdy, Captain. Rest assured, you'll see calmer seas this winter. And have American Sun Control secure powder-coated railings and screens for shade, too. While the lake is calm this winter, let American Sun Control install your dock and deck screens and railings. Come in, call, and look them up online and Facebook. American Sun Control.
Butch's Small Engines east of Tipton is your sales and repair person for all makes and models of small engines. They sell and install B&W gooseneck hitches. They're a dealer for Echo chainsaws, weed trimmers, and blowers, and a Kohler warranty center. Butch's Small Engines is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday till noon. Highway 50, 3.5 miles east of Tipton. Butch's Small Engines. Call 660-433-5831. That's 660-433-5831.
At the Hy-Vee halftime show, Versailles leads Tipton 28-19. I mean, a lot to talk about after that first half. First off, Ryan, how about the Versailles defense getting after it?
Yeah, I mean, holding Tipton to under 20 points. Anytime you hold a high school varsity basketball team under 20 points and a half, I think you played a pretty good half. They forced a lot of turnovers. And, I mean, honestly, diving on the floor, matching the physicality of Tipton, I felt like they played a strong half defensively, but also offensively. They had a very wide variety of scores in this game. In the first half, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scores. That's solid, right? In the first 16 minutes of basketball, obviously led by Reese Murdoch, but you hit a lot of threes, and that's a good sign.
Oh, absolutely. And I will say, yeah, Tipton only mustered up 19 points. Tipton got looks. It's just shots not falling, and I feel like turnovers were an issue for the Cardinals in the first half.
Well, and a lot of turnovers weren't necessarily forced. They were just like, all right, we're a step off from completing a pass that would have been a backdoor layup or something. Like there were 3 or 4 plays I can specifically remember where maybe one person was backing out to the 3-point line instead of cutting to the basket, and the pass was thrown the opposite direction, right? And those are things that, as the chemistry is built, not that these kids haven't played together, but as they understand that a little bit more and figure out what each other wants to do, figure out what Coach Reeves wants, I think it'll be better. When they got into sets, they looked good. But that's because in sets, you know what everyone's doing.
Yeah.
Right? When you're trying to freelance, sometimes maybe you're not on the same page. I think it was maybe not their most ideal first half of basketball, but if they get back to the right way defensively, they'll play a better second half.
And I see South Callaway out here getting warm right now as they have the game. After this one, they will do battle with the Eldon Mustangs. Winner goes on to the championship of this 86th annual Tipton tournament. And, I mean, Ryan, you look at this Eldon Mustangs squad who, once again, I say a young squad. A lot of kids that have seen varsity time, don't get me wrong, but still not guys that have been averaging 25 a game and had to be put in a new rule. How big could it be for Eldon just to get to the championship game? And, of course, if they win it, I mean, what does that do for your season early on?
Well, I kind of distinctively remember Coach Caudell talking last year about how their finish in I think it was the Tipton tournament last year was the best finish he had in a tournament since he had been here. And so I think that them, making this semifinal round and having a look to play in the championship game, I mean, that speaks volumes, right, for how they've developed as a program. And I'd say, I mean, I'm not around the Eldon, but at least me personally, I had question marks coming into the season, losing Hunter Hess, who was your point guard. He was your go-to guy, right? And the games I've watched them play, they found scoring. They still played good defense, and they were just athletic. Like they are extremely athletic, extremely long. They get out in passing lanes, and that's how Caudell wants to play. So it's a perfect marriage right now.
And I just want to add to that, we have seen a coming of age, a blossoming, whatever you want to call it, from Britton Ahart, where Britton last year was a very good player, to be clear.
He shows shades.
He did. You would see it once in a while where it'd be like, oh, okay, this boy can do it. Something has happened this season where Britton decided, hey, if somebody needs to take over, it's going to be me. I mean, that jam that he had last game was nasty.
I feel like there had to have been a concerned effort by the coaching staff to kind of get in his ear and say, hey, we can't have you be complacent this year. You can't be, like the third or fourth guy. Like, we need you to be one of the guys that we can turn to get a bucket, to play, the game the way we want to play it. And just watching the few minutes I've gotten to watch of them, like the dude, when he's turned towards the basket and gets a look at the rim, you're not getting in front of him, and that's good.
And to add with that, what makes Eldon so dangerous, I believe, is while Britton is playing great ball, it's not just the Britton Ahart show, because Cody Tam is an exceptional athlete, doesn't give up on a play. And is Cody going to have 10 highlight plays a game? Maybe not, but he's going to do the dirty work on the glass that's going to keep you in a game. And you'll look down the score sheet, it's like, oh, Cody had 18 points tonight because he was doing it on the offensive glass. And then Talon Hole is going to get you those buckets in the paint, or even the jumpers that you maybe weren't necessarily expecting or counting on right away. Devin Hardy can shoot the rock and is always fearless when he gets inside. A lot of scoring options for this Mustang squad.
I think the good thing for Eldon last year, and it might not have always felt good for the for the coaching staff or for the players playing the game, was while they had 2 seniors at the core that played a lot and were the majority of the scoring for Eldon, the surrounding group was young. And so those guys were thrown into the fire. They had to play. They didn't have a choice. They didn't have anyone to throw in there that was they needed 4 or 5 seniors to throw on the court at a time. Like, anytime you looked at that Eldon team, there were 1 to 4 sophomores on the floor. And that's a good sign, because then they come back as juniors and they're not afraid. They're not second guessing themselves. They've been in this position as young guys, and now they're the old guys you need to turn to. And I think that it shows in the way they played their first game. And it shows in, I think, the way that they'll play tonight. Now, South Callaway is going to be physical. They're big. But I think Eldon can match it.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Ryan's going to give us our keys to the second half and what we can expect to see. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Since 1944, Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company, Morgan County's only locally owned lumber yard, has been providing the area with quality building materials needed for its building, remodeling, and repair projects. Because customer care is Carpenter Gunther's #1 goal, your project is always their priority. They take as much pride in your project as you do. Reach them at 378-4433 Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30, and 8 to noon on Saturday. Carpenter Gunther, where they put the home in hometown business.
Timberline Real Estate Team, powered by Real Broker LLC, is there 24/7 to assist you with your home buying and selling needs from start to finish. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, they're dedicated to providing personalized and professional service every step of the way. From house to home and listing to sold, Timberline Real Estate is your real estate team. Call Tricia today at 573-690-2302 or Chris at 573-821-3988.
Special problems require special solutions. I'm Mark Keckner with Keckner Manufacturing. We're known for making turkey coops, but we've expanded including trailer repair, laser cutting, head drawing, custom fabricating, and manufacturing. Yes, we do that. That is the reason we've been in business for over 60 years. We are working for the working man. You might not need us today, but when you do, Keckner Manufacturing will be there. Keckner Manufacturing in Tipton, Missouri. Yes, we do that. Go to Keckners.com. That's KOECHNERS.
We're getting ready for the second half, about a minute until the second half gets underway. So, Ryan, before we wrap up the Hy-Vee halftime show, if you're the Tipton Cardinals, what adjustments do you think Coach Reeves wants to see out of his squad?
I think he wants to see higher intensity on defense. You can pack down in a zone and still be aggressive. And Will Cashman was a good example of that, right? Will and Lucas, for that matter, on the top of the zone, were kind of getting after it. I felt like I saw a lack of it on the backside, though. Rotations were a little slow. They weren't really playing with high intensity, high effort, right? And that's what we expect out of these Tipton Cardinals. Offensively, feed Dane Schlotzhauer, right? The other guys will get it done in transition. I think your set plays need to run through Schlotzhauer. If he hits a few threes, he hasn't hit one yet tonight. Just 2 field goals and then a made free throw, right? He's got 5 points, that is. If he heats up, that's their way back into this game. For the Versailles, keep doing what you're doing.
I was about to say, do you really adjust anything if you're the Tigers?
I'd ask Britt. She knows more than me about them. What do you think?
I think just keep putting up shots. They put up a lot more shots, I feel, than we saw maybe against Eldon, and obviously it's showing. They're up ahead on the scoreboard right now.
Right. You've got 6 scorers. That's a good sign.
Britt, I got to say, I'm really proud of you. You came a long way since you started doing this camera work. You were like all shy and stuff when we gave you a headset. Now you're just here and a part of the team. I love it.
She might know more than me about basketball.
I totally doubt that.
You should get the text when she's telling you about like how the girls are playing. It's very like announcer-ish now. It's great.
She's been listening.
American Sun Control third quarter is underway. Ben Bestian with the ball. Gives it to Lucas. Little wing action to Schlotzhauer. He's being contested. Straight man defense from the Tigers. Will attacks from the top of the key, has to pick up his dribble and go to Bixler. Tigers pressuring all the way out to the logo. It's Murdoch on Schlotzhauer. 2 great athletes there. Pass to the cut. Cardinals, 2 of them going for the ball. A little confusion amongst them. Drive from Will. Hangs in the air. Shot too strong. Hauled in by Bertelli.
You got to look around the rim. That's a good sign.
Murdoch. Oh, he stepped on the baseline. I will say, I kind of like that Murdoch's like, hey, I got a one-on-one on a fast break. I'm going straight to the iron. Oh, no, they call it blocking foul. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think he was pointing where they're going to inbound it at. I like that, too. It's almost like he's identifying that he needs to kind of go for blood, metaphorically, right?
Yeah.
Like he needs to strike the defense immediately.
Inbounds for Versailles. That foul does go against Bestian. Reese has it on the beak of the logo. Attacks right side. Finds a small seam. Slithers through and lays it in.
I like being in zone, but that can't happen, right?
Oof.
You can't. Ooh.
A tangle up there. Braden gambled on the steal. Good hands from Will Cashman. No surprise that the wide receiver's got good hands as he's able to hold on to that and draw the foul.
Not too shocking.
So Tipton trails by 11, 7:10 to go in the American Sun Control third quarter. All a part of our Martin Metal broadcast. Ben Bestian uses the screen, works on the left side, gets the free throw line. Ben has been a little quiet in this game. They got him a lot of looks in the opening round from the paint, but he hasn't quite got some of those views this game.
Well, he got looks early, and then they kind of realized, hey, we need to shut him down.
And a near steal by Murdoch. Schlotzhauer corrals it, goes to Bixler on the low block. Extra pass to Lucas to the corner to Will. Going to Ben on the block. He attacks, extra pass to Ty. Strong move to the basket. And a shooting foul going to be called. That's great ball movement by the Cardinals and a beautiful find from Ben to Ty.
So as Ben or Ty goes to the basket, what I've noticed is you've got Murdoch on Schlotzhauer, right? And I think that's a favorable matchup for Versailles because that's Tipton's best scorer, and you've got your longest, probably most athletic defender on him. The problem is Dane obviously likes to move without the ball and get close to the ball. That puts, as the first free throw was missed, that puts Reese close to the shots that are going up, right? He was able to affect that last one. It ended up being a foul, but that might be tough moving forward. You might want to move Dane out of the play a little bit and just kind of move Murdoch out too.
Lead stands at 10:30 to 20, 6:30 to go. Peck to Morrison. Hands it off to Albrecht. He'll launch a three, tries to bank it, won't go. Murdoch went all the way up for the board. Shot partially blocked. Ben has a beautiful pass ahead to Will. How about a half-court bounce pass to Will Bestian for the lay-in?
Yeah, out of your defensive tackle, too. That's pretty nice.
I don't know if I said that right. Ben Bestian to Will Cashman. Yeah, maybe that's what I said. I don't know. A lot of words. Either way, the lead is at 8. Poked loose, but it's poked right to Murdoch, who went up. I think he was thinking about the jam, and what a move. A fake to get Bixler in the air, steps through, lays it in, and the lead restored to 10.
He's up to 15 now. Definitely having a good night.
Something has happened to Murdoch, and I'm telling you, that light switch just went off. But another great feed. Ben Bestian is setting the table for everyone. That time it was Will Cashman.
That's going to open
up. And a steal. Lucas saw it coming, picks the pocket, lane to the basket. Shot won't go. Late whistle and a blocking foul going to go against Versailles. Bertelli going to pick up the foul. Lucas will shoot 2 and could cut this lead to 6.
Yeah, the Cardinals looking a little bit more like the Cardinals we expect to play under Coach Reeves, right? Getting out in passing lanes, setting each other up, stuff like that. Yeah, I think they just, they need time to play together. But what Ben Bestian is doing right now is going to open up some of his mid-range looks now, right? Now the defense is going to be forced to help off or not help off and stay on their men, and that'll help him shoot over the top of people.
I just realized there is a case that I'm going to need. It's the first free throw is not good that I left back in the locker room. That office, I'm going to need that case for our third game. That's all right. Maybe
you did mention that earlier, and
totally forgot. Oh, well, we'll get it some point in time. Second free throw rattles home. The lead is at 7. 5:37 to play, 32 to 25. Versailles leads Tipton. Rowan Allen is checked in. He has the ball. Finds Murdoch on the cut, and Murdoch's shot altered, wouldn't go. Good defense, Ty Bixler.
This be a big possession in this game if they can get a bucket.
Will goes to Schlotzhauer. He's knocked off the ball, able to keep possession. Dishes it back out to Will. Murdoch sneaking behind, trying to knock it loose. It's poked loose, stolen by Albrecht, and he is fouled by Bixler.
Just a little too much dribbling, right? Get a little passing going. And I mean, you got to credit Versailles, though. That defense is smothering.
Oh, absolutely. And right now, the Tigers are trying to jump passes from every which way. And Tipton going to have eyes in the back of their head right now. Murdoch, he's got room. He steps into a 3. It rattles, won't fall. Rebound hauled in by Bixler. Schlotzhauer with the ball. 7-point game, 4:50 to go in this American Sun Control third quarter. Pass inside to Lucas. Gives it up. Mid-range jumper. Will up and good.
It's almost like they were playing hot potato there, and I feel like they're best when they're doing that, trying to find the next man open and not hesitating to put a dribble on the floor. Every team's better when they do
Lead
that.
stands at 5. Sails with the ball. Reza in the corner. Drives, trying to make some space. Needs help. Finds Murdoch. And the ball is tipped. Stolen by Will. They're going to say he had a foot on the sideline. So a turnover back to the Tigers. As TJ Schoolfield checks back into the game.
And he's playing on 3 fouls. So definitely probably emphasized to be playing smart. But, I mean, I think you can, as long as he's not dumb about it, you can probably stay out of foul trouble here.
And the inbounds to Murdoch with a head of steam. He shows, fires it back out. Tough catch made by Reza. Reza goes back to Murdoch, fakes the pass, squares up, back to Reza. Oh, good back post by Albrecht. He's found by Reza, and the lay-in's good.
Albrecht hit an early 3. We hadn't really heard much from him there, but he's still working down low.
And a steal by Allen. Tigers with numbers on the run out. Allen kicks it to the corner to Schofield. And even though the 3 fell, it doesn't matter because Will Cashman set his feet and drew the charge.
That's a big-time play there. That might have been the backbreaker. Oh. If that 3 goes in right there, I mean, you still had a lot of time left, 10-point game, though. But that's been tough. But
that was a great play by Will, though. I mean, legitimately saved 3 points. We saw the shot go in.
Yeah, it's massive. I like this press out of Versailles. They've done a good job forcing turnovers without fouling.
Little 2-2-1. Tipton, though, finds the backside. Bins runner, finger roll up and good.
I jinxed it. I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry, fingertip roll up and good. That is... Oh, inside joke. Reese, hesitation, gets inside, collapses the defense. Schofield's three, the one that counts, doesn't go. Raises offensive board, partially blocked from behind by Beshton, gets the board. Cardinals want to run, but the pass too hot to handle.
They did have that look right there, just a little too high.
I'm telling you what, I think Tipton is okay with Versailles' press right now.
Well, and Beshton, Andrew Beshton, that is, and Ty Bixler have both done a really good job of affecting shots tonight without fouling. They've done a good job. I think they both probably have 2 or 3 blocks each. That's impressive.
Murdoch working against Cashman. Allen at the top of the key. Gives it to Schofield. He's got Ben Beshton on him. Gets to the free throw line. Hesitates inside. Dishes it out to Allen. Corrals the pass. Spin move. Tries to drive, but it's knocked loose and stolen by Will. Excuse me, that's Lucas.
Good time to slow down and get in a set here.
5-point game, and it's thrown into the backcourt. So the Cardinals make some headway cutting into this Versailles lead, but then some soft turnovers open that door once again for Versailles.
Yeah, that's what we've kind of seen, Red, is when Tipton scores, they're doing it the hard way, right? They're getting tough defensive stops. They're finding good baskets. And then Versailles is coming down, and they'll turnover, bucket. And then all of a sudden, they've got a 6 or 7 point lead again.
Timo back into the game, and him and Ben Beshton are just playing bully ball. It's great.
They look like they should have went out for wrestling this winter.
Honestly.
They're playing physical. I like it.
They're both linemen. It's just one of them got to run the football a lot. And Reese playing bully ball of his own. He went baseline and said, if you want to come with me, go ahead. And a near steal by Schofield. The Schlotthauer keeps it alive. 36-29. Versailles leads Tipton. 2:40 to go in the American Sun Control third quarter. Lucas gives it back to Andrew. Ben working against the defense of Murdoch. Makes some space. Finds Andrew. Back to Lucas. Now Schlotthauer. He'll try a contested three. It's long. Murdoch, the board being harassed, spins out of it. And a reach-in foul going to go against either Ben or Lucas.
Schlotthauer is not used to shooting this little in a game, it feels like, right? Like that. Versailles has had a good game plan against him. They've ran him off the 3-point line. So his shots are obviously a little off as he checks out. I really feel like that's a time, though, where you got to identify, right? Schofield's playing on 3 fouls, and you've kind of got at him with a lane in the basket. They should, almost backcourt. Yeah, they do call it backcourt there. They need to have a concerted effort to attack him and get him back on the bench.
And I will say, I think Dane is doing the right thing.
He is.
The best advice I ever heard was a shooter has to shoot. I'm full of random Kobe Bryant quotes for no reason, and one of them was they asked him if he'd ever go 0 of 8 in a game, and he said, I'd go 0 of 25 before I ever went 0 of 8. Got to keep shooting to find your touch, and we know Schlotthauer will. Still just a 7-point game with 2:10 to go. This American Sun Control third quarter. A drive to the basket and a blocking foul going to go against Schofield. That'll be his 4th.
And that'll also send Tipton to the line because they're in the bonus. So that's what I was saying. I felt like you got to identify that, right, as a player. And whether that comes from the bench or that comes from a teammate or that you just know that, you got to see that you've got the guy that's in foul trouble on you and start to attack.
Free throw is long for Will. And once again, I know that I'm nitpicking at little things, but free throws have also been a problem. And these all, to me, seem like things that, hey, the more you play basketball, the better you're going to get at it.
I do agree with that. Right now, they are 2 for 5 from the free throw line, and that's not going to win a game.
Second free throw long as well. Murdoch's flirting with that double-double. If he's not there, he is close. I got to believe Reese has got 6 or 7 rebounds on the night. Reese attacks, gets inside, it's stripped loose. He tries to keep it alive. It's still on the floor. Ben Peck just dives and holds on tight. Jump ball going to be called. Possession favors the Tigers.
Yeah, and I will say one thing that I've been impressed with about Reese is he has not, as much as he's had the ball in his hands, I don't feel like he has that many turnovers tonight.
No, he's sound with the ball. What I just saw from Ben Peck sums up Ben Peck perfectly. Is Ben going to give you 20? No, but if it's on the floor, he's diving
go grab it.
He will
need those guys.
Yeah, he'll do whatever you ask of him, basically. Braden, fake. Gives it to Ben. Ben tries to turn the corner and finds Reese. Reese head of steam. Quick stop. Fires it out to Albrecht. Open look from 3. Won't go. Cardinals leak out. It's fired ahead to Will. And Will has to save it back blindly as the pass led him out of bounds. Peck has it on the right side.
So many passes that are just like 3 or 4 inches away from completing.
Murdoch tries a corner 3 and gets it. What is going on with Reese Murdoch?
9 points in this quarter. He's got 20 on the game now.
Jeez. We've been wondering, are we going to see this version of Reese this year? And I think we are. Near still, Beshton with it. Finds Will Cashman. The lead back at 10 with 1 minute to play. Will thought about the shot, drives inside, good take, working against Murdoch. Murdoch blocking foul going to be called, and Will shoot 2 more free throws.
I think that might just be Reese's second foul, but that might be a way to get back into this game, start to attack him a little bit.
I'm telling you, Ryan, Reese Murdoch, 6'5", super athletic, high IQ. If that 3 ball is falling that way, I mean, you don't need him to shoot it at a ridiculously high volume, but even if he can shoot 35% from the 3-point line, that's something teams are going to have to worry about, as Will make sure to touch every part of the iron before that one falls.
Pretty sure he's 2 for 4 tonight from the 3-point, maybe 2 for 4 or 2 for 5, somewhere in there.
I was thinking 2
you'll
for 4.
Take that,
so,
right?
Yeah.
Like that's good. And just get one more.
The fact that he's hit 2 is enough to make the defense respect the shot.
Right, and then if they respect the shot, his long strides.
Exactly.
Right.
Second free throw won't go. It's kept alive. Will attacks the basket, and a travel going to be called. That's one of those that was either going to have to be a travel or a foul. And
yeah, a jump ball might have been an option there, but they didn't call that one.
Either way, it is not a first down.
Nobody tucked his shoulder, or tucked his head like it was going to be.
Yeah. 39-30. The Tigers lead the Cardinals. 50 seconds to go in the American Sun Control. Third quarter of action. Vansel on the drive from the free line. Great find on the back cut to Bertelli. That was good court vision from Jacob Vansel.
Yeah.
As he finds, that was Bertelli on the back cut.
And that's where offensively we keep talking about like passes being a step off. For that time, Tipton, the defensive rotation, a step off, and a nice back cut from Versailles.
Oh, yeah. And I will say, for a player like Jacob Vansel, as the first free throw is long, you want to find more minutes on the floor, you want to play more of the game.
Those like that.
Exactly. Heads up plays. Rebound well, and if you're finding guys on the back cut, you don't have to average 10, 15 a game to get out there. You got to make smart plays.
I definitely agree. And I think that they'll search for someone that can run point, right?
And both free throws missed, but Reese, a rebound. He wants another 3, and this one draws nothing but air.
There's a 2, so it doesn't count.
Oh, that's why he didn't make it. It was just a long 2. I got it. And Reese, a steal on the other end. Well, if you're going to miss a shot, that's how you make up for it. He wants to run the floor. He dishes it to the corner. Peck left open. Shot won't go, but Bertelli cleans. Oh, no, it won't fall. That thing did everything but go down. Andrew Bestian with the ball. 9-point game on the run out. And Murdoch can cover the court fast as he tips it out of bounds.
That was about the most impressive possession. And I saw that coming from about the time that the Tipton Cardinals reached the volleyball line. I just saw him sprinting backside, and I was like, Reese Murdoch's about to just cap off this possession beautifully, and he did. Just hustle all around the floor. The pass down there was seriously sick, too.
Oh, it was beautiful. 39-30, Versailles leads Tipton. Andrew on the drive, floater, and oh, wow, no whistle. Yeah, I think Reese got away with one. They're calling it a block. That went off the backboard first and should have been a goaltend. As the 3 won't go for the Cardinals, it's tipped out of bounds, last touch by the Tigers.
Yeah, they gave them the ball right there because of it, I think. And
Coach
Reeves has a point.
No, Coach Reeves is heated, but he's right. I mean,
that's a big score, too. They
absolutely
really needed that.
Yeah, that was a missed call for sure. That was definitely off the backboard.
Impressive block, nonetheless.
Oh, yeah, Murdoch got up. It was a goaltend all day.
They do call a foul here, and that'll send Schlotzhauer to the line.
I believe there's a name for that.
There's a what now?
There's a name for what just occurred. I think it's called a makeup.
Yeah. Well, we saw it on the out-of-bounds call and then on the foul, right? They're like, you're going to get these 2 points one way or another.
Oh, nonetheless, I love this. We're seeing some great athletes.
We are.
Neither coach is going to have to, complain about the effort given tonight.
No. And my favorite right here, you got Reeves and Culpepper talking about what just happened. That must be nice to have Culpepper right there, right? You just bounce ideas off of him.
More impressive is Culpepper's son, Jace, right next to him. That's the real brains of the operation.
I think he's the one that coaches the basketball team, right?
I think so. First free throw for Schlotzhauer's money. Second one off the back iron. Timo the board. Yeah, the other night when we walked through, Jace was out here, and I was like, Jace, can you hit a 3? First one he pulled, he buried. Murdoch from half court.
I'm shocked that didn't go in with the way he's been playing tonight.
Honestly, we've played 3. Versailles leads Tipton 39-31. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Sold-out crowd at Remax Arena at Lake of the Ozarks, and Winter Shelton's got 5 seconds left to win this deal. Can they pull it off? Inbound passes to Shelton at the top of the key. They try to double-team him. Shelton crosses over the competition with some razzle-dazzle. 2, 1, he shoots the game winner, and it's Winter Shelton for the win! Shelton is crushing it. When buying a home or real estate, put the ball in Winter Shelton's hands for the game winner. Winter Shelton's crushing it, yeah.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Aaron Long in Tipton.
As we get ready for the Jason Blankenship CPA fourth quarter of action, all part of our Martin Metal broadcast here tonight. This is one of two on KS-95, one of three in general on the radio tonight. Coming up next, it'll be Eldon and South Callaway. Winner advances to the championship of the 86th annual Tipton tournament. That's going to be a great game. And then the headliner tonight will be Camdenton and California, also battling it out for the championship. And that'll be available on our sister station, Mix 92.7. All these games streaming at MoSportsZone.com and available on the MoSportsZone app. Does Tipton have a run in them? Great pass. Schlotzauer lane to the basket. Good fake. Gets the defense to bite, and he finishes. It's a 6-point game.
Schlotzauer could have sat out there on the three-point line and taken that shot, but the defense kind of was expecting that, so he just snuck behind him. That was a good look.
It was. Murdoch with the ball, using the Timo screen. Working against Bixler. Gives it to Albrecht. Albrecht a lane. Jump stop into the paint, and that was close. I think they're going to say 1-2.
Ooh, they call it travel?
They call the travel, but I think he came down right foot, left foot was the issue. But trying to use that jump step to split the defenders. So a 6-point game, and Tipton with the ball. Basket here, and we've got a ball game. Bastian on the wing. Gives it up to Lucas. He's got a lane. Dishes it out. Schlotzauer, corner three. Off the iron window. Murdoch had the board. Lucas takes it away and puts it in, and it's a 4-point game.
Tipton storming back. They won last quarter. That's the first quarter they won all game, right? So you small steps, and now all of a sudden you're right back in one at the end.
3-2 zone from the Cardinals. Timo gives it to Albrecht. Over to Vansel. Vansel lobs it to Reese on the block. A double team comes. Reese fights through it and puts it up. There were 3 Cardinals around him.
I think they're in a box and one right now.
And it's a steal by Jacob. Vansel to Murdoch. Extra pass to Albrecht. Gets the defender in the air and draws the contact before the shot. But still, once again, what did I say last time? If Vansel wants to, get minutes, how do you do it? Those passes? Yes, steals will do it too.
Yeah, I think it's such a lost art just filling a stat sheet, right? That doesn't have to be with points. People don't care about that anymore, but coaches do.
You look at the Eldon girls. Delaney McGay says that. Yeah. She might not always light up the scoreboard, but she's going to do every other category. Reese has the top of the key. Gets inside. Gives it up to Peck. Albrecht thought about the 3. Over to Timo. Versailles trying to be smart here with the lead.
I don't think you need to score overly, quick.
Ooh. Way to hold the pivot foot, Reese. Timo lines up a 3 and hits it. If Jason Vansel is listening, what did I tell you at the beginning of the year? Just let Timo shoot it, and Vansel tries to strip it as it's knocked, as they're going to call a reach-in foul.
Well, you can afford to take a few fouls, right?
Well, I think that's just Jacob's first, as he's going to get a breather anyways. Oh, Jacob's second, excuse me.
So I think Versailles is in a box and one. On, what are we talking about here? We got blood somewhere on a jersey?
Yeah, Ty Bixler, which, no surprise there. Ty Bixler is, as physical as it gets when he plays inside. And
he's going to run to the locker room real quick.
We've seen Ty Bixler and Tyler Morrison fighting down there, and neither one of those are going to give an inch. And Reese Murdoch closes a 15-foot gap in about a step and a half.
Yeah, he's doing just about everything.
What's crazy is he's the second most athletic Murdoch I've ever seen.
Really?
Oh, man, his brother Trace was something to see. I love Big Trace. He's a good dude. He was a fun ball player. Fancy footwork. Will on the attack, right to the rim. Great take, Will Cashman. Lead back at 7.
If they can establish those drives a few times here, eventually the defense is going to collapse. You kick out for threes when you need them the most down the stretch.
44-37. Versailles leads Tipton. Winner goes on to the consolation game tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
That battle inside between Will Cashman and that was Braden Albrecht.
On the outside, a shot fake for Bertelli. Patiently works his way inside. Shot up over the defense, wouldn't go. Good defense, Will, and it goes to Schlotzauer. He tried to find a teammate who just wasn't ready. Pass inside. Up and off the glass. Wouldn't go for Peck, but he'll shoot 2. That has got to be frustrating. Tipton got the board, tried to throw it ahead, and the player just was looking ahead running the court. So Ben Peck will shoot 2 here.
I think that's an unfortunate sequence right there for Tipton. Is the first free throw is not good. Like, you got to stop. You had a chance to go back and do something good. It's Britt talking.
That'll be the fourth on Lucas.
There we go. That's not good. You can.
By the way,
tell us, right?
No, it's cool. Myra Class is listening, and she said she fully agrees that Trace is one of the most athletic players she ever watched play the game. And a reach-in foul going to be called on the far side. It's going to go against Versailles. Oh, no, excuse me.
No, Reese had it on the baseline, and they pushed him out.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I misunderstood. Thank you, Brett.
You're welcome.
Rules analyst Britt now.
You know how, like, at the NFL games, they have, is it Terry
McCauley.
Yeah, that's our Terry
I was going to say,
McCauley.
we got rules analyst Britt right here.
It's great.
That was awesome.
Just wait till we get instant replay in Secaucus.
No, it might be bad.
Oh, Reese shows it. Attacks off the glass. Just wouldn't fall. Kept alive by Bertelli. He's fouled as the shot won't go. It's right now for me, it's not just the aggressiveness of Reese. It's the fakes. If the defense is going to bite with his size and speed, you're in trouble.
And he's played a very good game and has 22 points to show for it. Could probably have 30 if he finished around the rim. And if that's something that he continues to do throughout the season, right, get better finishing, that might be bad.
Oh, 100%. I need to find out where Reese is at as far as career scoring. As second free throw won't go, 44-37. Tipton's still very much in this game, just a 7-point game with 5:07 to go, but they've got to find their offense. It's been a little better, but when you're playing from behind, it's got to be a lot better.
Right.
Lucas working against Albrecht. Straight man defense here from the Tigers. Will shows, switches on to Albrecht. They cut Bestian across the middle. Will going to attack, sets up Walters in the corner. Nothing there for him. He goes back to Will, trying to split the defense, and he is fouled.
Did you not like that one?
No, he had his hands low, and he obviously knows that's going to be a foul. So I'd like to see Albrecht get his hands in the air and not down low.
I like this coming of age right here of Britt becoming the third broadcaster. This is nice.
I'm a little scared, honestly.
Yeah, well, the open mic was a bold choice by us.
Yeah, I know. And it's right beside me to turn it down if I need to. I just haven't. Schlotauer makes some space, gives it up to Bixler. Steps out on the wing, back to Dane. Dane just playing bully ball. He's double teamed, and he's fouled a lot.
I was going to say that he got fouled a few times. He's been honestly fouled quite a bit tonight. It was probably good they finally called that.
Yeah, and when you're fouled by Timo, you're really fouled.
That's a good way to put it.
That's the fourth foul. Oh, excuse me, the third foul for Versailles. 4:30 to play. Lucas working against Reese, and they're going to get Morrison for the reach-in foul from behind.
You know, something that tends to happen here is you get towards the end of the game and you're up and your defense doesn't stay as disciplined. And I think that's what we're starting to see here with the Tigers.
Heck yeah.
Andrew Bestian with the ball. Out to Bixler, and a timeout going to be called by the Tipton bench as Tipton was doing a lot of moving but not making much progress.
I was going to say they weren't getting really anywhere. So I think this is a good timeout to talk things over. You're still in the game. Full timeout, sit down, regroup.
And we'll go ahead and take the Remax of Sedalia and Nicky Ragsdale timeout as well. 4:19 to play. Tigers lead the Cardinals 44-37. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Have you ever gone into panic mode because you reach into your wallet and your debit card is not there? Hi, this is Ryan Pryor from Citizens Bank of Eldon and Versailles. With the Umbrella app on your mobile phone, you can block your debit card with a quick tap of a button. 5 minutes later, you remember that it's in your pocket. No problem. Just go back in and unblock your card, and now it's business as usual. Ask us how you can enroll. Member FDIC.
A hometown bank, a hometown friend.
The Morgan County Health Center in Versailles reminds you can help your child have a healthy future. Encourage them to get 1 hour or more of physical activity every day and limit screen time to 2 hours at most. Time spent in front of a screen watching TV or playing video games means less time being active. Make sure they get 3 servings of low or no-fat milk or yogurt every day. 4 servings of water, not sugary drinks, and 5 servings or more of fruit and vegetables. Healthy habits lead to a healthy future. A message from the Morgan County Health Center in Versailles.
Tipton with the ball, trailing by 7, 4:13 to go out of the timeout here in the Jason Blankenship CBA fourth quarter. Great cut. Andrew hangs in the air. The scoop shot just won't go. Murdoch, once again, got to be right there at that double-double.
I thought he was going to hit that wonky reverse layup, too.
Andrew's an athlete. He had to hold in the air. Once again, Andrew, the cousin of Ben, not the brother like I thought.
It's an easy assumption.
I mean, there's just a few last names on this team. All right, it's very similar players. Reese, crossover, drives, hangs in the air, and a charging foul going to be called as Will Cashman. Or was that Lucas? No, that was Will again. That's the third or fourth charge Will's drawn in this tournament.
Well, he came over from the backside of that 3-2 zone they're in, and you're not really expecting another player to be down there set for a charge.
Lucas brings it up the floor, working against the pressure of Ben Peck. To Andrew in the corner of Schlotzhauer. Murdoch out on him. Andrew used the Will screen. Albrecht switches onto him. Low post. Bixler has it, fighting against Morrison. Gives it up to the wing. Skip pass. Will, 3 from the corner. Halfway down, wouldn't go. Murdoch. All right, I'm just saying double-double Murdoch.
He's got to have it.
Has to be at least 10 boards.
He's done a good job setting his teammates up, too. He might have a 5x5, right? He's kind of gotten a lot of everything.
He really has. A near steal from Will and a timeout going to be called on the Versailles bench as Coach Espinosa.
He called that timeout like a seasoned vet.
Okay, so getting word from... Man, we've got reporters all over the place, and I love this.
This is getting closer to ESPN.
Honestly, I don't know how we got to this point.
We got field reporters.
Something terrible is going to happen, and I don't know what it is. But thank you to Jason Vansel text me. He said that Reese is somewhere in the mid to upper 700s for his career scoring-wise. And so it's not crazy to think if Reese plays this way that he'll join that 1,000-point club, somewhere through the season. Because I don't know what Reese had against Fatima, but I mean, Reese had 27 in the opening round of the tournament. Reese is already up to 20-something in this game. I mean, yeah, you
need 300 points. What is that on average? We're not mathematicians up here, but you probably need to average, like 15 points a game, and you'd get there.
Well, let's see. There's roughly, 25 games in a season, give or take, and we're looking to get 300, so that would be 12.
12, yeah.
I had it in my head. Braves
that was impressive. I was just saying 15 to be safe.
So, yeah, Reese...
I knew it wasn't that.
More than likely will... I mean, if he keeps this pace up, it'll be a 1,000-point scorer for his career. And, I mean, he rebounds the ball very well, too.
Right.
By the way, I was corrected last night. I've been saying something that isn't completely accurate. I keep saying Tipton has 4 1,000-point scorers for their girls. They don't. They have 2. They just have 2 other girls that are going to be 1,000-point scorers because they both have near 700 points already. By the end of this season, they will likely have 4,000-point scores.
They will.
I mean, yeah, I'd be shocked if they didn't. Reese on the attack at the free throw line. He's fouled by Bixler. That'll be team foul 5, and Murdoch going to go to the free throw line.
If I'm Tipton, I feel like I might play the foul game early here and start sending guys to the line because one of two things are going to happen, right? If you play really high pressure intensity defense, this Versailles team might not handle it well. But if you send them to the line, right, at least you're giving yourself a chance to come back in this game.
Murdoch's first free throw up and good. By the way, if you're tuning in for the pregame for Eldon, everything's going to run behind tonight. This tends to happen towards the end of tournament week. Because the next game's slated to start at 5:30, and I'm just going to tell you that's probably not going to happen. Second free throw is long. Lead at 8. Board hauled in by Lucas. They'll bring it into the front court, working against the defense of Jacob Vansel. Drives baseline, has to give it up. Schlotzhauer looking to attack. Albrecht on him defensively. 2:30 to go and lead at 8. Tipton's going to have to move quick. Bixler with it. Over to Ben Bestian. He fires below. He was trying to lob for Lucas, and 2 Tigers trying to break it up. They touch it last as it goes out of bounds.
Ball movement just like a step too slow again, right? Like you've got guys, if you swing it around, instead go back to the same side, and nothing's there.
It's into Will, fired up to Bixler. He attacks, dishes it out. Schlotzhauer, a 3 off the front iron, wouldn't go, hauled in by Albrecht. And he finds Reese.
It's kind of a back-breaking possession here.
You got to think the Tigers are going to want to be patient here. Reese hits the crossover. Like I said, don't be patient as Reese goes to the rim, but the shot is short. Cardinals want to get out and run. Bixler on the fast break. Goes against Timo, and little contact. I think Bixler briefly thought spin, then decided against it, and just a little pitter-patter.
I actually really like that they didn't call a foul there. Like 9 times out of 10, it's not a foul, but you're going to get one, right? And it was a solid play there by Morrison to kind of undercut without making contact.
So now under 2 minutes to go in the Jason Blankenship CPA fourth quarter. Murdoch gives it to Albrecht. Driving to the left goes to Timo. Morrison to Reese. It's just a weave here. Straight man defense being played from the Cardinals now. To Morrison. Do the Cardinals think about fouling?
I think you have to. I mean,
if they're going to, they're going to have to soon.
Yeah.
Lucas working against Reese, and Reese going to step back and create space. We're down to 1:30. If the Cardinals are going to foul, it's going to have to start soon. Reese had a steam, dishes it out to the corner to Vansel, up to Albrecht. Heads up play to not take the three. You don't need it right now if you're Versailles.
And you're still in a zone. Like, this is definitely
and
a
so
weird
that's
ending.
That's what Tipton was waiting on. They didn't want to foul Murdoch. They wanted to foul someone who hasn't shot a lot of free throws, and that would be Braden Albrecht in this case.
Well, also, we talk a lot, about what this season's looked like early going for Tipton not practicing together. I highly doubt they've gotten to in-game situations yet within their game prep. I mean, they've probably barely gotten into the playbook, let alone what are we going to do in this situation?
Albrecht's first free throw is money.
That might put this one away. Nothing's over till it's over, right? Both teams have 3 timeouts, but
Bertelli back into the game. So on the floor right now for Versailles, it is Jacob Vansel, Bertelli, Albrecht, Murdoch, and Timo. For the Cardinals, I just realized that's Carter Helms out there that I was briefly calling the wrong name. Excuse me. Will Cashman with the ball. Helms has it at the top of the key, goes to Schlotzhauer. Ben Bestian in the middle of the floor. Schlotzhauer's looking for him, but instead he'll step back. The defense applied by Vansel. Will drives baseline. Reverse layup won't go. Rebound pulled in by Bertelli. He finds Albrecht. Cardinals looking to trap. Thought about the foul. Instead, Bertelli finds Reese.
Probably let it go now, right? Trap,
under a minute to play. Yeah, we'll see what they decide to do. They may have to foul, and they do. It's a 10-point game, 51 seconds to go, and Albrecht's going to go back to the line.
That still is Ty Bixler out there. He's just got a different jersey on. It caught me off guard at the first, because he had blood on his jersey.
That makes so much more sense. I'm glad you pointed that, because I'm like, it looks like Ty. Maybe there's another kid on this team.
It confused me earlier, too. Yeah, and then I realized. Wow.
And the free throw just dies on the back iron and falls through.
That is a generous bounce. But every time I come here, I feel like the rims are pretty generous. I mean, makes sense. They like to shoot the basketball here.
Second free throw good as well. Will with the ball. Trying to split the defense. Needs help. Finds Lucas. Out to Dane. Deep three. Up and good. Schlotzhauer hit that one nearly from the bench, and a timeout going to be called by Tipton.
Well, Schlotzhauer's into double digits now. I just feel like he didn't get enough shots up tonight, right? And that's, again, I think a credit to Versailles. They played a very good defensive game plan on him. But had he gotten some more threes up in this game, it might be a different story. He never really got to click, making your first three as a bona fide superstar from the three-point line 31 minutes into the game. It's obviously tough.
So we'll see what the Cardinals try to do here. I mean, you got to play out the foul game, but it's looking more and more like Versailles is going to advance to the consolation game of this Tipton tournament, whereas the Tipton Cardinals will be playing in the
7th place game, right?
Yeah, thank you, at 4 o'clock tomorrow. So I believe if my schedule is right, that would mean that then Versailles would be playing at 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
I think that should be correct.
Look at the boys bracket here. Yeah, so for the boys, so it looks like Versailles is going to advance the consolation game at 7 o'clock, and the 7th place game will be at 4. And Versailles will get the winner of Marshall and New Bloomfield.
And Tipton will get the loser.
Yeah. All right. You got to figure it out.
Yeah, it took a while, We had to lock in.
Well, everybody's here already. Camdenton's here for their game early. So is California. Versailles gets the inbounds to Reese, trying to throw it ahead to Albrecht, and somehow that worked. Reese led Albrecht enough that he didn't have the ball, had to chase it down, and he is fouled immediately. So with 35.9 to go, Braden's going to go right back to that free throw line.
Drew up that. I mean, if you're Tipton, that is exactly how you wanted that to go. When you were talking in the huddle, they drew it up exactly like that, and Lowe getting there to take that one away.
Braden's first free throw, halfway down and back out.
The door is still open, right? Still a 3-possession game. And you get Dane a few more shots, and he's connecting. You never know.
Apparently, he needs to shoot from deeper, because that's the one that wins.
Yeah, he shot that thing from like double the NBA range.
Second free throw hangs up on the iron, but falls through. Lead back at 10, 50-40. Versailles. I'm a little surprised that Versailles is pressuring right now, because they have 5 fouls, and that's going to be a foul called on Bertelli. So Tipton going to go to the free throw line.
Well, they're also learning through some things. Obviously, young head coach, first-year head coach. I'm sure that they might not entirely be on the same page yet. They're both learning each other, and it'll come.
As Lucas's first free throw won't go.
Free throw is definitely something we're going to look back on in this game because Albrecht basically closed this game out going 5 for his last 6 from the free throw line.
That's big.
And Tipton struggled.
Second free throw, long as well, won't fall, and Murdoch, another board. And he's going to get fouled and get to go add to his point total. I mean, there's a lot of kids out there that get annoyed whenever practice, like, Coach, why are we shooting more free throws? We shoot more. This is why.
Yeah, it can win you and lose you a game. And I don't think Tipton's too worried about learning how to shoot free throws. I mean, if the guys need to go practice with the girls' team, they'll figure out how to shoot free throws.
I'm Ava Schlotzhauer, and welcome to Free Throws 101.
I was going to say, they'll figure out how to shoot free throws in Tipton, but it might take a little bit of time, and there's going to be some growing pains, obviously.
Second free throw good as well. Tipton with 30 seconds to go, down by 12. They get it into Will. He races into the front court. Spin move, lane to the basket, layup up and good. Timeout called by Tipton with 22 seconds to go in the lead at 10. Once again, Nikki Ragsdale, Remax of Sedalia. Timeout.
Well, the reason why these games take so long, right, is because everyone has 3 timeouts at the end of the game and infinite fouls to go ahead and give. And I always tell my mom whenever I'm like doing something, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be there in 5 minutes, but think like 5 minutes left in a basketball game, right? And so then that's like 25 minutes. So the last
I'm going to be there in 5 minutes, but it's 5 minutes left in a Steelers-Ravens playoff game.
We both have 3 timeouts.
Yeah, we both have 3 timeouts, and it's snowing.
Yeah, that's the truth. No,
so Ryan, you're going to get into a fist fight before you come here? Yes, that's exactly what that means, Mom. Thanks.
1,000% what it means.
Oh, Schoolfield to inbounds. He finds Reese. Will they foul? No, they bring the pressure. Reese heaves it full court. He's got Vansel. Vansel fires to Morrison, and Morrison out to Schoolfield. Skips it again. It's tipped out of bounds by the Cardinals with 12.9 to go, but that was heads up. Instead of taking the bucket, you don't need. Just run more clock. So Tigers will inbounds with 12.9 to go, just trying to finish this one out. They lob it up to Murdoch, who soars up and catches it, and I don't think the Cardinals are going to foul again. They will not. So, actually, a big thing here. For the first time in the Coach Wyatt Espinosa era, the Tigers have their win. Congratulations, Coach Espy, on your first career win as a head coach.
I'm excited for him to come up here and talk. I'm sure he'll be feeling pretty good.
How could you not be ecstatic after a win like that? We're going to go ahead, take a quick break, and we'll come back with a rather quick post-game show before we shift gears to Eldon and South Callaway. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
A full-service graphics company, Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising does it all, from screen printing, offset printing, and promotional advertising to custom-built trophies and awards. It's where they do it the right way. Check out their Facebook page for their monthly special, and don't forget they offer online stores for all your group and activities needs. Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising, across from the Family Center on Highway 52 East in Versailles. Call 573-378-5775.
The students of Morgan County R2 have done a lot to make their hometown proud, and many have stayed in the community to help Versailles prosper and grow. Whether they excel through sports or through academics, our students need our support. As a parent, be part of your child's education. As a community, be part of their activities by attending sporting events, concerts, and other extracurricular activities. Our support today means better leaders for tomorrow. From Kidwell Garber Funeral Homes of Versailles and Laurie.
And we are back with the Bank of Versailles postgame show after a big win for the Versailles Tigers. They knock off the Tipton Cardinals 52-42 to advance to the consolation game of the 86th annual Tipton tournament, where Tipton will move into the 7th place game and face off with the loser of Marshall versus New Bloomfield. I felt like it was 2 solid halves of basketball for Versailles defensively that really led to the win.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like they scored the basketball well, but defense led to offense, and I think this will be a nice little thing here. Are we getting both coaches?
I asked, and Coach Reeves gave me the, I'll get you next time.
But
hand him that headset.
Why talk to me about the game? Let's talk to the coach, right? I think he knows a little bit more about it than I do.
First off, I am proud to say that I was here and get to be the first to tell you, hey, Coach Espy, congratulations on your first career win as a head coach, man. How's it feel?
Thanks, man. I wish it was sooner. I mean, if we're being honest. No, I mean, we competed, and that's all I can ask is we compete, play hard, and try to do our jobs the best to our ability.
I mean, compete and play hard is one thing, but your boys played a very crisp game, especially defensively. It seemed like you were getting after it both halves. What was the game plan coming in?
Well, we work on defense every single day in practice, whether it's communicating or we're trying to get our legs underneath us, turning guys. So hopefully that becomes like a habit, just a habit to play hard, play defense, and stuff like that. The one thing whenever we look at the stat sheet is our free throw shooting has got to be better. We've got to be better.
I will say, though, love to Braden Albrecht as he went 5 of 6 to close out that game from the free throw line. So that had to have been nice to see.
Yes, absolutely. And Reese shot well, too. Other guys got to step up and shoot.
Speaking of Reese, by the way, Reese, something's happened these last 2 games we've seen from Mr. Murdoch where it seems like a switch has flipped and he's just decided, hey, I need to take over the game. We saw him knock down a couple threes tonight, get to the rim well. I don't have the rebounding stats, but I'm going to go ahead and take the assumption he had a double-double tonight with boards as well. Is that part of the game plan, saying, hey, Reese, you need to go, or is he just doing that on his own?
Well, we want all our guys to be aggressive, but Reese has always been able to do that. Not that it's a problem, but he played with other guys that can do that as well, and he chose to facilitate, and that be his role. And this year we're saying, hey, go do you, go be you. And he's doing an excellent job doing that. He's also still trying to create for other guys and trying to get them involved as well.
I got to tell you, I believe you also broke a streak here. By my math, I think the last 3 years when Tipton and Versailles have faced each other, the home team has won each of those matchups, now able to get one on the road. How important is it for your squad now to have a chance to go to the consolation game and potentially leave the Tipton tournament with 2 straight wins and back at 500?
We'll be good momentum going into next week when we have Cole Camp and Bolivar. So it's also something that, when you compete and you do all the things that we do in practices, I was talking to the guys that they're like, man, we feel good in games, and you're supposed to feel good. Practices need to be harder than the games. But you can finally say, like, guys, we've worked hard, we've achieved something, So it gives them a reason to continue to work hard.
It does appear, from my perspective, that the kids seem to be gelling together a little bit. Is that something you're seeing as a coach in practice in games as well, that maybe they're starting to find their groove together?
Yeah, we're starting to see our cutters and hitting them. We still got to be better. We're still missing some, but hopefully that's something that we continue to get better at as the season goes on.
Any final thoughts on your first win, Coach Espy?
TIG.
ERS. Is Coach Espinosa. First career win. Here's the head coach of the Versailles Tigers, and they got it done tonight. So they will advance to the consolation game tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, where they will face off with the winner of New Bloomfield and Marshall. I saw both those squads, and Ryan, I'm going to be honest with you, I like the Tigers' chances.
I do too, and let's be honest. I mean, they were a few shots away from being in this semifinal round instead of the 100%. Consolation round. And the way they played tonight was pretty convincingly. Like, this is a team that's going to win a lot of games, and they're going to do so with Reese Murdoch, but I think they're going to do so defensively.
And I know I just said this last round. I'm going to say it again. The Tipton Cardinals are not that far away.
No, not at all.
Do not judge the Tipton Cardinals based on the Tipton tournament. They have had less than 5 practices. These boys are in football mode. You give them 2 weeks, then go watch these Cardinal boys play.
I was going to say, basketball in Tipton under the 8 ball, it's inevitable. It'll come.
It absolutely will. What did the scoring look like?
Yeah. So first for the Versailles Tigers, obviously the 52-42 win. Reese Murdoch led the way with 25. Is Braden Albrecht with 10 points. Tyler Morrison hit 2 big threes. He had 6 points. 5 points for Josie Bertelli, 3 for Ben Peck, and 3 for Rowan Allen.
I will say this. That was a typo, actually, on this board. It's Joey Bertelli.
That makes so much more sense. I was going to say, I felt bad. I was like, that's not a That doesn't make sense.
That is,
yeah.
yep,
Okay, yeah.
Joey Bertelli.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, her, between Britt and your look that I got, I knew I said something wrong there. For Tipton, it was honestly a well-rounded out of the top three, right? You had, there was also a typo here. Yeah, I looked and saw Will Bestien, but it's actually Will Cashman right there.
Jeez,
So
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Will Cashman led the way with 13 points. You had 11 points out of Lucas Cashman and Dane Schlotzhauer. You had 6 points out of Ben Bestien and 1 point out of Ty Bixler. So your top three giving you some production, but they definitely probably need to get a little more bench effort, right, as the season goes on, and I'm sure they will.
100%. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up pretty quick. This has been the Bank of Versailles post-game show, all part of our Martin Metal broadcast. Big win for Versailles as they take out Tipton 52-42, move to the Consolation Championship tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Tipton will play in the 7th place game at 4 o'clock. We'll have coverage of both those games right here on KS-95. So what I'm going to do, take a quick break. I'm going to go ahead and change some stuff around. The stream will shut down. It'll come right back up as we're about to watch a championship semifinal between Eldon and South Callaway when we come